Stephanie, I'm sorry.
This is honestly the last I really,
Yeah.
and I put this in here because I mean
I know you
it's
put it in there,
newsworthy. It's absolutely newsworthy. We got to
but
talk about it.
we have to talk
But
about Mr. Elon Musk one more time. So yeah, so for those who have not heard, Elon Musk was going to spend 40 plus billion to buy Twitter. Now he ain't. He'd have changed his mind.
I don't think he ever was, but
he
continue.
never was. Absolutely not. And I think I've said something too in a social media post. We need to go back to the tape because
No,
I
you
feel like I
were.
called this
You
like
did.
back when he first got on that board and was threatening. I was like, this is some bull. He don't even
No,
want to do it.
you've been consistent about. I don't think he's going. Even when he did it, it's like I don't know. I don't know. I think we were kind of thinking that, but you were very vocal with it. But it is interesting that, like, so he decided that he was going to do it. And then shortly after he decided he was going to do it, he's like, you know what? This deal is on hold. I really don't think that there's such a thing as putting a deal like this on hold. But in his words, he put the deal on hold because he wanted Twitter to give more information about all the bots that they have on the system. And Twitter very, very, very quickly came out and said, no, there's no deal on hold. We fully expect this thing to go through. And of course, he acquiesced from that a short time later. But now he's coming out and saying, no, because of all this bot stuff, the deal is actually off. And Twitter, their board has very quickly lined up to go get them a very good law firm that deals in these mergers and acquisitions type lawsuits to sue him in this, in the state of Delaware because they want their $1 billion. There's a $1 billion breakup fee.
I'm gonna be trying to crash that trial if it does come to trial. I was hyped when I put that in my notes. I was trial would happen in Delaware. I put a little square around it, because I'm gonna try to crash that, John. If it does happen, I'm gonna be right there. Delaware is 20 minutes. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to crash that, John.
So
FYI.
This is just my opinion. I don't know if we're going to ever see a trial on this.
Probably not.
I don't know if we're ever going to see a trial. To me, they're probably going to settle this behind closed doors for something far south of $1 billion, and we'll never hear about it. Because Elon put something, it's like you can say a lot of things about Elon Musk. There's a whole lot of things, a lot of things that I don't care for you can say about him. But one of them is that he's stupid or he's a dummy. Like he's unaware of what is going around. I don't think you can really say that about him. So he posted a tweet where basically, I'm just paraphrasing it, but he essentially said that, I said I wanted to buy the company, the board didn't want me to. Then when they actually agreed to, had to shut it down for the bots. And then, now they're suing me to go back and buy the company. And I'm just wondering, did he Jedi mind trick this board into getting what he wants?
He's a very rich troll.
Yeah.
And because he has so much money, he gets to get away with dumb shit all the time, which I hate that he's basically used Twitter's platform to troll Twitter and the world and get away with it. But you're manipulating people's lives right now. People work at Twitter. There's jobs at stake. That stock price going up and down is affecting people's lives. You are playing with that right now like it's some kind of effing game, and it's just like, knock it off. Like this is ridiculous. I think what's going to happen, I don't think he's going to pay the $1 billion. I think what's going to happen is he's going to be able to manipulate them into selling at a lower share price. He doesn't want to sell at that 54.20 that he agreed to. I think he wants to sell at a lower share price. I think he will get whatever he asks for. But it's like you go back to there's a thing called discovery in this type of merger and acquisition, that this was supposed to have been happen. All this talk about the bots, they not giving research, they ain't giving me, they ain't coming. You should have been asked for them numbers. And the fact that you didn't showed how flippant he was about this whole process in the first place, and how he didn't take it seriously, and it just got away from him a little bit, because the SEC gets involved, and now you actually got to put your money where your mouth is. It got away from him a little bit, but you playing with people's lives right now, and I can't stand that dude. I really can't.
So you're not buying a Tesla no time soon, huh?
Ever. I wouldn't even drive one for free. That's how much I can't. That's my personal protest against Elon Musk, his business practices, and everything else about him. I wouldn't even drive a Tesla for free.
So there's some
All right,
other things. Like I said, it's just an interesting story to me. All the stuff you said, Stephanie, absolutely, truth to that. But some folks are saying, well, this entire thing, the entire reason for him doing this is because he wanted to have an excuse for selling $8.5 billion worth of Tesla stock. And this is coming from some pretty reputable, sites. And I'm like, that doesn't really make sense to me, because it's like the reason he sold all those options was because he had to. They had 10-year, they basically had a 10-year strike on him. So he had to, or he's going to lose them. So I don't think he needed to make up another reason to get 8.5 billion other than I sold these shares, or I should say I exercised these options because if I didn't, they were going to expire. I think that was reason enough that people understand, and it makes perfect sense to me.
True.
So
but the stock market doesn't always go on common sense, and any CEO dumping or exercising or whatever you want to call it that much stock could cause the Tesla stock to drop even more. We're talking about people, there are highly trained, highly educated investors, but they're also just some regular folks. It's like, oh man, the CEO dumped these many shares. Let me get rid of my shares as well. And then that could have some effect on it, so it could have been, the fact that not plausible deniability, a legitimate reason for getting rid of the stock was, okay, well, it needed to be tied up in this buying of Twitter. Sounds much better than I'm just exercising some shares. Because if you really believed in the company, then I'm talking as a layman, is trying to use this logistics, trying to explain, okay, well, you just exercise some shares. That don't make sense. So something must be going on with your company, versus him trying to say, like, let me come up with a better reason. And the better reason is, I was trying to buy Twitter.
Yeah, so we'll go back to financial literacy. Let's learn what an option is. And I'm not going to explain the whole thing. Like I said, I don't want to do this, but essentially, like I said, here's what I'm just thinking. They were going to expire. You either are going to make this money or you're not going to make this money. That's what it came down to for me. So I'm like, but for me, I follow this stuff. I get it. So Terrance, you might actually be onto the same thing that these guys were onto. It's like, yeah, he needed to have something else to keep that Tesla stock from going down.
Right.
But the thing to me, and I understand, Stephanie, you are absolutely right. These are people's jobs that he is playing with and dealing with. So there's that part of it. But it just seems to me like everything that he wants to do, the board is just falling right in line with it. It's like,
that's what I don't understand.
It's like,
what are y'all doing?
You're on the board of Twitter. Don't you have some high level thinkers who can think through what Elon Musk might be trying to do?
They just as greedy as he is.
You absolutely right.
And they know good and well Twitter really, if we talking numbers, really, they really don't make money like that. Now they make money, but for Twitter to be Twitter, they should be way more profitable.
Yeah, and are they even in the black? Are they profitable?
I don't know. I'm just saying, for Twitter to be Twitter, they should be raking in dough, and they not. So they're like, all right, Elon,
for the number of active daily users they claim they have.
Yeah, for Twitter to be Twitter,
a lot more money. Yeah.
And they are just as greedy as he is. So when he came in, was going to dump a bunch of cash on them. They're like, yeah, we with it. And then he said, no, now they panicking. Now they look like Boo Boo the Fool.
So, like I said, I'm really wondering. Like I said, Stephanie, you might be right on this. That he's just using this to get that, buy price down.
I think
that's what he might be doing.
I think that's his only sort of outlet at this point. Like you said, I highly doubt he's handing over $1 billion to anybody. I would hope Twitter's board wouldn't be punk enough to accept less than that $1 kill fee that was agreed on and try to keep it under wraps. But this is all he has. I mean, he's hoping on the fact that somebody will agree that Twitter misrepresented the number of bots on the platform, but
Mhm.
also the recent layoffs. Twitter just laid off 30% of their recruiting team, and there's some loophole in there as well about making those types of
Moves.
HR decisions
Mhm.
while the deal is in transition or in flux or whatever. That could be a justification for him backing out as well. So I don't necessarily either one of those is going to be a good enough reason. However, the way he's been able to use Twitter to sway the court of public opinion, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he'll be able to get whomever is going to ultimately make this decision to use those two excuses as a let him back out. But I think at the end of the day, he's going to get Twitter for some bargain ass price, and then probably sell it off, just as quickly as he bought it. He'll sell it off to somebody else, and that'll be it. And he'll go back to being,
The largest
Don
shareholder
Cheadle.
in Twitter, because
Yeah,
let's not
and
forget that he is
he'll
the
just go
top
back to
guy.
being
Yeah,
right, and he'll just
yeah.
go back to being that, and just making money.
You know
So
what? Maybe I will sit on that board with all of these shares that I have. There's just, like I
like he
said,
should have done in the
I
first
don't
place. If
want.
he had done that in the first place, he would have had everything he claimed he wanted for Twitter anyway. He could have been way more influential as a board member than he would ever be as a owner. Well, taking it private, I guess he could do whatever he want, but still, just he
Yeah.
played this wrong. He definitely played it wrong.
So it's going to be interesting. Like I said, we were, had resided. Well, we're not going to talk about this again until the deal's done. Yeah, we got to talk about it again because it's news. We got to talk about it.
We
This
gotta talk
dude
about
is
it. We gotta talk
dominating.
about it.
He has dominated the news cycle from the spring until now. I guess we're still towards the beginning of the summer, unlike anything I've seen before. I mean,
And the bad part is that's literally all he wants.
yeah.
He's just a megalomaniac that wants attention, and we keep giving
Or
it to him.
or maybe distraction from what's
Yeah.
going on with Tesla and the
Ding ding ding
lawsuits
ding.
and with the production issues and the whole, there's some issues with that Starlink thing he's trying to do and all
Mhm.
these other things, all these other projects that he
And ain't
started,
nobody talking about none of that, you
and
notice.
none of that stuff came to fruition. He's like, all right, I need another distraction. Twitter, go.
Uh,
I'm wondering if Puerto Rico ever got them batteries from that last hurricane.
Mhm.
So anyway, interesting story. I'm certain that we will be covering it
He don't
again
want everybody to know
because
about them 10 kids.
Right.
yeah, he I guess it's come out that he had twins with one of his assistants or something like that, right around the
Yes, he
time
had
that his other child was
10
born last year.
10 children with 3 different women. Neck and neck with Nick Cannon at this point.
Right.
But nobody's talking about it. And it even the way the media has covered those two things
Oh,
has shown the
you
bias. You know
you
what I
don't
mean?
think they're gonna cover Elon Musk and his kids the same way they would cover Nick Cannon and his? You don't think they're gonna cover Larry Bird and all his kids the way
How
they
many
would
kids
cover?
Larry
Oh,
Bird got?
Larry Bird got a small village.
Uh,
Yeah, he got a small village out there.
Mhm.
But no, that's not gonna
Crazy.
happen. That's not
I
gonna be the
know,
same
but
thing.
it ain't right.
But no, like I said, this was just we had to talk about this because it's really going to be interesting to see. It's like Twitter has, as I said, they've gotten a really really good law firm that does this kind of stuff. He still is the richest person on the planet right now. I'm
So
guessing he's going
again,
to go get a really, really good lawyer and they're going to go duke it out. And I'm thinking that it's going to cost him something far south of 1 billion. Let's say he comes off a quarter, $250 million. That is like Hakeem's pocket change from coming to
so
America for him.
so I've always had a issue with this. Is he the richest man on the planet, or is he valued at the most amount of money? Because
I
he's
say it probably was that
valued.
second one.
So, but I think we look at that and say, oh, that. Well, let me not say that. My point is, he's not the richest man in the world until he sells every single asset that he
Right.
owns.
Mhm.
And that is damn near impossible unless he dies. And then they have to, I don't know what the actual term is for, doing away with your assets as you pass. But I've always been bothered by when, oh, this person became a billionaire. Are you really a billionaire, or do you just valued at over $1 billion?
That's just the America and the rest of the world valuing money
Yeah.
over anything else, and placing human value on how much money you have.
It's
So-
just a side note that just bugs me. That's all.
You know, it's a good thing to think about. Is Elon Musk the guy in the world who can write the biggest check and it clears? That may not be true. There may be someone else who could go write a bigger check that clears tomorrow than what he could.
How
But
much money
on
can
paper,
you lay your hands on?
but on paper,
That's the question.
Now,
on
that reminds me-
How
paper,
much can you lay your hands on
Yeah.
right now?
yeah,
That
on
reminds me of that
paper,
Kevin-
this dude is, I think it's just north of $250 billion.
yeah,
Just
that
ridiculous
reminds me-
numbers.
Reminds me of that Kevin Hart joke. You know, well, my checking and my savings, and I got to move my checking to the savings. And then